Hey, welcome everybody. Big D 505 interview series. We are back from um well short little break. You know how we do things over there. I can't seem to find my thing for my screen. Where did it go? Oh well, I'll figure it out. Anyway, welcome everybody. Glad to see you here. Great show tonight. Got some superstars in the industry who are going to be joining us tonight. These guys, they've been at it for a long time. They have such a massive following, huge fan base. On top of that, they also create amazing content. They also uh, really um, do a lot for the community. They have a shop. They have their own cigar brand. We'll get into all of that tonight. But my guests tonight are the infamous Frankie and Miguel Rodriguez. You may know them as the Bakersfield gentlemen. Let's bring them on the screen. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing tonight?
Good. Glad to have you guys on. You guys are two of my favorite people in the industry. I've been a fan for a long time, so this is kind of a nerd out session for me to be able to see you guys.
Hey, glad to be here, man. I appreciate the embellishments in the beginning.
hmm
We're just a couple of normal dudes doing dude stuff at cigars. I don't know what to even say about it anymore. I appreciate it though. I appreciate being on tonight. This is gonna be good.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you guys being able to come on. I've wanted to talk to you guys for a long time. What you guys do for within the industry and the community is by far some of the best out of anybody out there and what they're doing. And I will hand this over to you guys to talk about you and who you are.
That we can do. You want to start us off?
Sure. Yeah. So, basically, the Bakersfield Gentleman started about 6 or 7 years ago. It's kind of up in the air when exactly it started, but my brother was into filmmaking, and I was doing bartending for private parties, and we had just come across the Tipsy Bartender. So we're like, you know what, we can do videos like that. Let's do some stuff like that. And so we got some pretty girls and some friends, and we made some videos, just us fooling around, drinking stuff. And sure enough, it got some likes. So we're like, okay, well, that's kind of fun. That's kind of cool. Miguel comes to me, he's like, hey, we need to add more. I was like, I mean, what more do you want to add? Let me know. We'll try it out. And he's like, what about cigars? And I was like, I really haven't really had that many cigars, but I can give it a try. So we went and went to all the local shops, see all the local brick and mortars, and found Trina over at Cigars and More.
Yep.
And she kind of took us under her wing and helped us experiment with our palettes at the very beginning, trying this and that and telling what we liked, what we didn't like. And then she would give us some more to try. And it was absolutely fantastic. And after a while, we said, let's go live on Facebook because it just come out.
Yeah, it was. We were doing recorded stuff mainly in the beginning, just because that's all there was. And Facebook had this new feature on the phone app that you could go live, and we happened to have a little stand and some tequila and cigars and a patio we could smoke on. It's like, well, you know what? Whatever. It's Saturday night, not doing anything, but let's see what happens. And I think like 3, maybe 4 people watched like that first video, and that was incredible.
Yeah, we
That
almost
was,
broke the internet with 4 people watching at one time.
like, what?
It was crazy. So from there, we started doing more stuff live, and eventually Trina asked us, hey, what are you guys buying all these cigars for? And so we showed her the video. She's like, well, why don't you guys do it here from time to time? And that's actually how we got started with Cigars and More here in town. Is we partnered with them for a while, and then they actually introduced us to James over at Sinistro,
Yeah.
who helped us further our stuff. He took us to our first PCA, and really, I mean, I don't know if he sold anything at the first PCA he took us to because he was busy running us around, introducing us to everybody in the industry. I mean, without James's help, we would still be kind of lost. So we owe a lot of thanks to James and Trina, and from there, just kind of spiraled into making more live content. We focused on the live stuff because we saw there was already a lot of recorded stuff, but not a lot of live stuff with interacting with people. So we kept that going, and within about a year and a half, we grew from 5,000 to over 20,000, and I was like, "Holy crap, that is crazy!"
Oh, good. Yeah.
But then right around COVID, Mel joined us, and she was awesome. And so that's basically it. We like to do live shows. I mean, we'll do recorded stuff here and there, but for the most part, we enjoy the live. We get to talk to people. They get to ask us questions. It's about the interaction that we get to spend with people.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Honestly, we first, like you said, when we first got into cigars, we weren't knowing what to expect, but the community has been so great. The industry is something to fall in love with. The culture, the history of it, the science, the art that goes behind it. I didn't realize how much we were stumbling upon just doing something that we thought would be fun and to help make more content. And all of a sudden, I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
incredible out there.
Yeah. You guys have, you guys definitely were one of, when people, a couple of people who they've heard of you, but they didn't quite know who you were. I had to explain. I go, when you talk about, OGs of live cigar content, these are the guys. I mean, these were the guys who, were on Facebook Live all the time, talking cigars and drinking and just having a good time back in the day before all the rules took effect and how everything was. If you were into cigars back in the day, you were watching these guys on Facebook Live like I was. So I've been a fan for a long time. So um, I've loved what you guys have done. I loved what you guys do for the community out there. You guys are very generous. You're solid guys. You're very low key, down to earth, very humble. And I think, you haven't taken any of that. You haven't let any of that success that you've had get to your head. You guys are still like gracious for every person that wants to say hi to you or take a picture with you, or it's. I think that's what makes you guys so relatable with just the general cigar public out there, is that you're even though you are rock stars and superstars out there, you guys you don't think you are, and you just kind of play it like, yeah, we're just like you. We're just like you. That's it. We're just like you. There's nothing special here.
It's true though. Yeah, it's I think people forget that it might be a luxury item, but I think there's so many average Joes and good guys out there, hardworking people who enjoy cigars, and that's my people right there. That's what I am. That's what I like to be around. There's all kinds of people you'll meet in the lounge, but I think the community's still built up of a lot of guys who are that day to day work, that hard
Mhm.
work, the honest jobs out there, and I have wanted to put something in their hands that's ours, which is something that we've done. Thank you to John for mentioning about California Dreaming. I really do appreciate that, brother. Um, as soon as we got taken in by the other people around us, the rest of the industry, I knew I wanted to do the same for others as well. To be there, to be helpful as best we can. We're still not any kind of big fish as far as like, I don't know. I still look up to the dojo, and I love watching cigar obsessions reviews and stuff. It's just something that I enjoy not only making but watching as
Hmm.
well, and checking out the live shows. Instagram has been huge for that lately. Like, there's
Oh
a
yeah.
lot more live shows on there, and so many they overlap. I'm trying to watch everybody's like skipping back and forth. Like, and now what do you
What?
guys say? What are you guys saying over here?
Yeah, that's why I got both my phones going at the same time. I'm watching too. I'm like, okay, watching this because I want to support my friend over here, but my other friend's doing this. I guess so. I got to support both.
It's so true though. Yeah, I got to do that. I got to get another phone.
Yeah, that's awesome. On it. So tonight we are smoking your guys's brand out there, and so here we go.
I like it, brother. I like it. Yep,
I
I
like
got
it too.
that right
Yes,
there.
Hecho
I'm
and
actually the
Las
odd man out. I'm
Flores.
smoking Trust the Process tonight.
There we
San
go.
Andreas, though. Nice.
If you're wanting to pick up some of these delicious cigars, if you click down in the description, I got a link that will take you right to their website so you can purchase some yourself. Um,
Use it. Use it.
use it. Take advantage of that. And it's right down there. I put it in there specifically so you guys could find it.
I
So take
appreciate that.
advantage. Make sure you buy. This is the first time I've smoked from your guys' brand, and I'm really digging it so far right off the bat.
Good. I'm glad
thank
to
you.
hear that. Yeah.
So I'm just getting into it. So we're going. John here, two of the most humble and real people in the industry. I can agree. I can attest to that. Um,
Thank you,
Getting to
John.
meet them last year at TPE for the first time in 2022. Like I kind of geeked out. I'll admit it. I kind of geeked a little bit because these are awesome guys in the industry who I've looked up to for a long time. And so, I like to think with guys like you and a couple of other content creators out there, when I'm putting out content, I want to put out content that one, that everybody can enjoy, but two, something that, you guys would be proud of if you put out that content. So I try and look at it that way. I want to make you guys proud for what I'm doing out there.
What do you call it? And it absolutely is true though, because I watch your stuff for myself, not just because we're in this together. Because I want to support you in that way. Or I watch it because it entertains me. It's like I don't need to watch Top Chef 17 or something. I got good content right here in front of me to watch. All right, I'm tired of this. There's so much out there, and now I have people like you, and there's so many of us together that put out good stuff. And you are putting out great content on a regular basis, brother. It's there and they got to watch. And I want to, real quick for those who use the link too, I'm going to pick one person randomly. Every 10 people who use your link, I'm going to double their order. All right. So anyone who wants to, I can see it on there. Whatever you guys do, I'm going to randomly choose one out of every 10. I'm going to double your order.
There you go, guys. If you use that link that I put down in the description to go buy, you can buy anything off the site. You can buy anything off the site. You can buy the sampler pack. There's multiple different sampler packs on there as well. You can buy anything off that site, and every 10 people who place an order, they'll double that order for you.
Someone in there. I won't say who. This way it'll be a little random, a little extra fun in there. But I just want to show a little thank you, and make sure you use his link. All right, use it down there.
Use that link, man. I want you guys to definitely get out there and try these cigars. I've heard nothing but good things about your cigars from a lot of different people out there. So having the opportunity to smoke it, this is very good. How did you? So the name, you took the name here, Made in the Streets. How did you come up with that name?
Well, we wanted to have fun with these because our first couple cigars under the Pariah banner was the Rush and the Noir.
Yeah.
And those came out of Noir was a black and shades of gray, so kind of that old school comic book noir feeling. And the Rush was a really bright red, and it kind of reminded us of like the NFL Rush uniforms that they use every once in a while. Seattle has their like neon green ones and stuff like that. So we called Noir and the Rush, but they didn't have bands. That was the only down part to our first run of cigars. They had no bands to them. We did have a big sticker on the front like we do now with all of them.
Yeah.
But there was no way to tell what cigar it was once you open it up. So with these, we knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to do the same butcher paper wrapping 5 counts because it's honestly a lot cheaper for us. Not going to lie. But we wanted to come up and have some fun with the names. And luckily, again, through Artista and through James, we were telling them, we want to have fun with these. We want them to look cool. We want them to sound cool. And I think the first one he showed us was the League of Assassins. And I mean, that one, I started laughing as soon as I saw that. I was like, that is perfect. That's exactly what we want. And so he's like, okay, fine, we'll use that one. And for the next ones, yeah, it's just a bunch of fat assassins, basically, guys.
Yeah, it's comic booky. It's a little geeky, but it kind of fits the profile we set out there. Because if you watch the lives, that gets talked about a lot too. There's a lot of friggin' comic book news out there, so it works.
And he said you can't go funny with all of them. You got to be serious with some of them. And so we're talking about some. And someone came up. I don't remember if it was James or Miguel. Someone said, "What about Made in the Streets?" I was like, "That sounds kind of gritty, kind of cool." And then I think it was James that decided to put it in Spanish. I was like, "Oh, that's even better." So that's how we came up with the name for that one. And Lucky You, I don't know. I had nothing to do with Lucky You.
Lucky You was a logo. I think that was James sent me because there was like 30 different logos we were looking at and playing with names randomly, and then that one just stood out. Like, you know what? We have time to put other stuff out. So if some of these that we like We'll rework them. We'll make them look a little nicer. But for these ones right here, I think it fits. I think it fits that dark look for Trust the Process, that executioner ready to go for the San Andreas, down to the lighthearted Lucky You for a Connecticut. I think it is a very lucky cigar. I'm not a big Connecticut guy, but I did make a Connecticut I wanted. That's what we did. Something that we wanted to smoke. So
Little bit more body on it.
Mm-hmm.
just a little bit of Pennsylvania Lajero in there, but still some Cameroon as well. So it's balanced, but not what you usually get, because there's a lot out there that are kind of muted. And I'm not a big fan of that, and I know it's been done over and over again, but you got to have a good Connecticut out there. You got to put one out.
Oh, of course. And again, we've got a bunch of people who have also just jumped in here to the chat. And if you guys down in the chat, if you click in the description and you go and use the link in the description I posted to go pick up their cigars, every 10 people who picks up a cigar will randomly get selected. He'll select one of the 10, every 10, he'll double the order of whatever you order.
Yep.
So go buy a lot.
And then for California Dreamin', that's our once a year limited release.
Yeah.
The first one that we came out with, Miguel designed the band, and I loved it. It was just kind of a play on the California flag. So you have the red and the white, which I loved. I thought it was beautiful. For the second one, if you guys look at it, you're looking at it over the ocean. It's actually a pretty famous picture, looking out over towards the Ventura Pier, which is our hometown. Ventura is our hometown. We lived on the beach, and we wanted to pay homage to that. So Volume 2 is the Ventura coastline as you're looking from the old government building.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty iconic picture, especially for people from Ventura. And then this year, we're hoping to do something for Bakersfield. We don't know if it's going to be oil derricks or some kind of agriculture, or maybe a mix of the two.
Get the bluffs in there.
The bluffs or something. Yeah, but we want something, maybe the Bakersfield sign in some way. But we want to pay tribute to our second home, basically, and get that in there somehow. So every year it'll have something to do with something in California that's special to us.
Yeah,
that's great. That's great. I love hearing that. They all these cigars look delicious and beautiful.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
quality looks great.
Top to bottom, you have right now. Me and you are smoking that Habano right now, so a little extra spice to it. But then right below, I think as far as like strength goes as well, not so much just like order, because I like them all. But it goes the San Andreas that Frankie has, that Habano, which we are smoking, Sumatra with League of the Assassins, and then Connecticut, Lucky You. So just anyone out there who's like, you're kind of wondering what you might like, what you might want to go with first. If you're not into, wanting to sample everything, I totally get that. I would recommend doing so, though. That's just me. But if you have a particular wrapper you like, we do have some options. So definitely check that out. The book.
And you said you worked with Sinistro and El Artista on these cigars?
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. So two big names in the industry there. Well, see, even more of a reason to go buy it. These guys had their hands in with big factories.
Yes.
And big names.
We got really lucky, I think, with that. Especially when we first started, because we had the idea to go out to the Dominican, and then quarantine happened, and they were no longer allowed to let us do that. So they were like, well, let's still make this work. We'll send you some blends. Sent a lot of blends. And we're told...
Even before that, though, we were going to go with another company because at the time we had a backer who's going to help put up all the funds for everything.
That's right.
And then once COVID hit, his oil took a hit and he had to back out. So we shelved it for about 6 months, but we kept talking about it. Because a lot of companies, guys, when you want to make your own cigar, I mean, they're more than willing to help you, but you're going to start at anywhere from 30 to 25 to 50,000 cigars. And that for us, we just couldn't do financially with just the two of us. But when James heard that we wanted to do with cigars, he's like, why don't you just come to me first? We're like, we don't want to bother you, take advantage of the friendship kind of a thing. So don't worry about it. So he hooked us up with El Artista. And, they're like, hey, you guys want to do 100? We'll do 100. We don't care. Whatever you guys need. We're like, wow.
So helpful.
So that's how we end up partnering with them.
Yeah. Ram is a great guy. Both of them make some amazing cigars. I was having
Mhm.
the Chimarrón earlier from Artista, and then just the other day smoking that Envy Lancero that just came out. Oh my god, it's great. I just a lot of respect for both companies, and we always have the running joke because Ram is also a Rodriguez. Like, oh, we got our cousin here. He's gonna help us out. Of course, he has to. We're family.
He has
Uh,
to, exactly.
yeah.
uh, so one question I want to know is, when did you know that it moment was for you guys, that you, like, all of a sudden, dude, what we're doing is making a difference, it's real, like, this is real?
Ooh, there's a couple of them. I think that you have those moments where like you're sure of yourself at some days, and all of a sudden you fall right off the wagon, and you think, "Damn, I'm not doing anything. I don't know if anyone's even paying attention anymore." And then you have that next moment that gets you over that hump. Like this guy, recognized us over at the gas station one time.
Yeah.
Is just I was just going to pay for gas, and this really tall dude, he's a bigger guy, was like staring at me. Um, at first I was like, well, did I offend him or something? And he's just staring, and it's not. He's. I think he's ready to fight. So I go and I pay for my gas. I come back out. He's still staring at me. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a good day. I put the gas in, and he walks up. I'm kind of backing a little bit, just ready, just in case. And he kind of just stands there and points, like, "Don't you do cigar stuff on the internet?" And I was like, "Whew, thank God it was for that." Yeah, cigar stuff on the internet. That's exactly it. And it's one of those moments where it's like completely random, completely by chance. He knew what we did, and it felt really good.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other time that definitely solidified that the industry is paying attention, that people that I respect and that I'm geeking out too when this happens. You remember the moment we're in line at the first PCA or IPCPR at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and Jose comes up to us.
Nah, you took my story.
Yeah,
Damn it.
you want to go for it?
Mine was a little bit later. Mine was a little bit later on that IPCPR before they changed the PCA. I don't think I was paying attention during the time you're talking about, but we had gone over to the Fuente booth, and Senor Blanco was there, and he came up to us, called us by our names, and told us what we were doing is really important for the industry to keep it up. And I was about to shit myself. I was like, did he just know our names?
What? Yeah.
And Miguel was like, yeah, he knew our names. And that right there, combined with later on, we're at Casa Fuente. And if anybody knows the layout to that, we're right inside the door. There's an outside patio, and then we're right inside the door. And Carlito Fuentes shows up, and he's taking about 45 minutes to get to that patio. Just everybody want to shake his hand, wanting to hug him, take a picture, whatever. And we're like, just leave him alone. Just leave him alone.
Yeah.
And he comes in, and he sees us, and he says, "What are you boys doing here?" I was like, "We're having a cigar." He's like, "No, what are you doing here? Come to the back." So we got to go hang out with him in the back. And I was like, holy crap, that was amazing. I mean, that blew my mind. That absolutely blew my mind.
Awesome. That's awesome. Big shout out there to my man Ryan Miller from Rocky Mountain Cigar Show, my partner on Tuesday nights for
What is
raw
up?
cigar reviews over on IG Live. Yeah, it's one of those bit, I'm always curious on when, those it or, it's real or wow, it factor things happen with people because, I last year was at TPE for me was James from Sinestro grabbed me and gave me a hug. And I go, oh man, he's like, dude, I love what you do. And I go, oh, you watch what I do? He goes, yeah, I want you to know that cigar that you reviewed of mine that you didn't like, we're completely scrapping it and we're redoing the blending on it. And I go, oh, wow, thank you. I mean, I had no clue. I was like speechless. I was like, oh, are you serious? Wow. Yeah, and then the other one at PCA last year, Mel grabbed me and drugged me over to Carlito and Jeremiah Marifel. And Carlito saw my hat and he goes, and because he had commented on one of my videos like a year earlier. And he goes, oh, you're the one who did that great video on the 20 year. And I said, yes, sir. He goes, and I love it. He goes, I show that video to everybody. And I was like, wow, thank you. And then to get to geek out and talk with Jeremiah for 15 minutes. I mean, I was like trying not to show that I was like, I was just trying to keep my cool. I'm like, I'm just sitting here talking to a legend. Yeah, keep on walking.
You gotta hold it in those
Yeah,
moments.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's weird like that because there's some people that like Senor Fuente. I have no problem talking to you all day long. Just like normal for me. But when it comes to Saka, he told me to my face, he's like, "You're a horrible interviewer." I was like, "Thanks a lot, bro." He's like, "Just make sure your brother does it from now on." I was like, "Okay, we can do that."
He knows talent when he sees it,
But for
right?
whatever reason, just when I talk to Saka, I get tripped up. I don't know what it is, and that's only on camera though. When we're off camera, we're talking Navy stuff, we're talking live stuff, and I'm fine. But once that camera goes on, and I'm talking to Saka on camera, and I know it's going to go on the internet, I don't know what it is. I freeze up.
I figured you guys have more in common with the Navy stuff because you're both in there, and I'm over here trying to carry this guy's weight. Backpacking him along on these interviews. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing sometimes.
There's been 3 people that I froze it up on, and he was one of them.
Yep.
I froze up a Sokka too, so that it's something about him, his presence, his aura. Like he's a super cool dude, but you know when he gets on like that kind of role and that voice gets low and grumbly, you don't know if he's mad at you or not, or how this is going to go. Like this could turn really quickly, on But that's just who he is. But yeah, I've frozen up with Sokka before. I'm like,
And he's my favorite interview because I can give him like a one sentence prompt and he'll be talking for 20 minutes. I could just sit back and relax. Or if you want to engage with him, he'll definitely let you do that as well. But the most important thing is there's no BS in that guy. He's 100% just honest how he feels about it. He'll be tactful in some moments if it's like something, he doesn't want to offend anybody, but he will not, sugarcoat it just for the sake of sugarcoating it. And I really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, he definitely that's who he is. He's as real gets.
100%
out there.
100%.
Matt Boof's like that too. As real gets. He likes to joke around and have fun, but he's genuine and real, and you can ask one question and just keep the camera on him for 25 minutes because he'll give you a 25-minute answer.
See, Matt Booth was another person that I stumbled on. He's 2 of the 3.
Oh, I didn't. I had fun. I've had Booth on my show a couple of times, and I've always had fun. He always tells you that every question you ask, he takes a little bit of your essence with him. And the first time I had him on, and we had a great time. The next day I woke up, I had like a stuffy nose and a little bit of a scratchy throat. And I go, "Oh shit, dude!" He literally took some. I'm like sick now. He's like taking. He did take part of me with him.
I think he's perfected that. I think so. I think if anyone can do it,
he has. He made it a point to stand right next to me at a urinal with a very wide stance, tapping my foot.
That I fully believe that. I could see him doing that like right now. I'm like, that's why I always use the stalls in those situations, just because I don't trust no one near my feet in the bathroom.
There's 25 open stalls, and he picks urinals, and he picks the one right next to me. Like nobody was in there when I walked in, and then he walked in, but I wasn't paying attention. I'm focused on what I got to do. And then the next thing I know, I got this wide stance and this foot tap. And I go, "What the?" I'm like, "What?" I look over, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it would be you." He's like, "Well, and you got to go. You got to go." And I'm just like, well, I'm honored you wanted to take a peek. And he goes, so why, is it a little chilly in here or what? Nah, I just pull enough out so I don't piss on myself.
Smart move. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that dude is a crazy awesome guy. He really is.
This cigar is really good.
Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I enjoyed them myself as well. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those things that you got to tell yourself from the beginning. It's if everything goes wrong, you better have a cigar that you're gonna want to smoke all the ones that you didn't sell. So I can firmly say that I would smoke any one of our cigars any day of the week, and that's why I feel comfortable putting them out there and saying, "Hey, you should try these too." We try to keep the price as reasonable as we could. We tried to make things that are approachable for those guys who are just beginning, like we were just beginning not too long ago. In the grand scheme of things, are just a blip in the industry, and we're still trying to get everything under our feet and trying to really make a platform for ourselves, a base, as far as putting cigars out there. It's still nerve wracking every day to do this. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
lie. Every time we talk about them, every time I pitch them, whether we're at an event like we do a couple events here, and we were the cigar providers, or the what do you call not really a farmers market, but like a selling event that we were at.
It's a craft fair.
It was a craft fair kind of thing at our local country club, and we're the only cigar vendors there, and they're guys who know their cigars and the guys who are just getting into it. So the conversation very much differs from those two people, and it's still even though I'm trying to be as confident from as I can be, still a little nervous that I'm not going to convey what we're doing properly, and they're going to just hate us for it. It's I don't know how these other guys do it, like you're talking about James or Booth or any of them, how they have they mastered that. I think it's got to be the PCA and how many times they have to represent themselves, from customer to customer to media to media, to other reps and other brand owners. It must be just years of practice, and I hope I get to that level one day. I really do.
Oh man, here's superstar Anthony Giannis.
Oh, I'm trying to get to that guy's level still. I want to win more like he does.
Guy wins all the time. He just entered into the giveaway on my other channel that I have for sports cards and sports memorabilia. He just entered in, and I just know he's gonna. I know when that wheel spins, his name's gonna pop up. I
He's
just
got.
know it.
Yeah, the other thing is, if we ever hold a contest or a raffle or anything, and he buys a ticket, we don't tell other people,
Like
or they won't
you're
enter.
done. You're done. Yeah.
And
When
Mr. Raymond Kane of the Cigar Clowns. Welcome,
hey, what is
sir.
up?
That's
Oh,
right.
nice.
Yeah. Oh my. So for the other for me moment was you guys commented on when boy, it must have been I was about 6 months into putting out content on there, and uh, one of you guys commented on my video, and like I totally geeked because you were like the first big name person or in content creators out there who I knew, who I've watched, to really comment on a video, and like I was totally geeked. I was just like, wow, you guys actually watched what I put out. I was like stoked, man. I could, that was really like for me, a good moment. And, I don't know, I don't know how you got turned on to me or my content out there, cause I'm a fairly, at the time was a fairly small channel. I wasn't huge or big or medium, I was small, but I appreciated it that you put out a positive comment on what I did, and it made me happy.
It
Yeah,
was easy to do though too, because it's
yeah.
good stuff.
And it's the same way I do on Twitch. Like, I'll type in cigar reviewers on Facebook or on Twitch. I'll go to the games that I like, and I'll find people that are just starting out. And maybe they don't have anybody watching live or something, and I'll tune in. I'll tune in. I'll hang out for a while on their Twitch. I'll talk to them. Ask questions. What got you into this kind of stuff, and then I'll leave a tip. $20, whatever. And then you see them freak out and get so excited. It's like, I just want to help out. I just want to make sure you keep motivated. You keep doing stuff. You don't know if that's the next big person. So I love doing that, especially on Twitch. It's so much fun. I mean, you get these people that are just trying to start out, and you watch them for a while, and you subscribe to them, and they get so excited. And it's really cool, that feeling that you get helping this other person out, grow their stuff too.
Oh, my crush just came in. Hi, Michelle.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. Oh, well, thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. I love Ray.
100% true right there.
Right.
100% true.
I love Ray. He's so awesome. And there's a brand that has invited me in to be a part of what they've been doing and how they're going and their growth. And I just kind of, and I met them just by doing a review on one of their cigars. That was just by happenstance. It wasn't like I was, aiming. Like I never aimed to get famous or to get, it was just, here's my palate's perspective on what I think on a cigar. And and it's led to me meeting some great people out there like you guys. It is, even though I don't do reviews anymore. it's led, I think it led to progressive growth to where I've gotten to now.
Yeah, I've honestly thought about going back to getting some reviews done again because I love doing the live content. I much prefer to get to talk to people like the individuals commenting right now. It's such a huge help to keep the conversation going, to interact, see exactly what people are into at the moment. There's no guesswork. They tell you exactly what they want to hear or what they want to talk about, and I love that. And I can't tell you how many times like Eduardo or the Giannis brothers or a number of other people watching have really helped out, and you get to know them. And you get to know people that might never meet. Like rest in peace, our buddy Leo Stone passed away a few months ago. It's been a minute now. And we never met him in person, but only through the show, just talking, pictures that he would post, for the contest we do. And when he passed, I was devastated, and I wanted to smoke a cigar that he smoked last. And I was like, I'm gonna look through his pictures because they're still up there, and I can see what he smoked last. And we'll have a little memory show for him. And the last one he smoked was actually one of ours, and I damn near cried in my car when I saw that. And I was like, as much as I love doing the reviews and the recorded stuff, the connection when we go live is just so much deeper.
It is. It is. And I think that's how we feel about a lot of people who we meet through here. But there's a connection, and for a lot of us, even we haven't met, it's that feeling that we've known all these people for a long time or our whole lives on it. What we do, especially when we lose one of the members of our community, how we all step up, all the raffles and charities that go on to help the family, to help the family out, because we've gotten close to people, whether we've met them in person or not. Some way we have gotten close to them on that.
100%. Yeah. Cannot agree more.
Again, for all the new people that have jumped in on here, if you click the link down in my description and you go and buy these cigars, yes, these gorgeous mouthhole morsels right here, I got a link in the description. You go. For every 10 people that go and buy cigars, you don't have to buy. You can buy the sampler. You can buy a $5 of any of these that you want. You can buy the super duper huge sampler if you want. It's all there. You use that link, and then you go for every 10 people who buy something, one of those 10 people are going to be randomly selected to get their order doubled. So I'm going to keep preaching that throughout the night. I'm going to keep preaching that you want to go click that link, go buy the cigars, and hopefully, after I throw everything on the floor.
Well, you're just tenderizing the cigars. It's okay. I've done it too.
You're one of those 10 people.
Actually, that takes us to a story about Carlito, though. Can I tell it?
Yeah.
All right. So we're in Escondido at Lord Puffer's for a Fuente Fever event, which raises money for their charity for the school. Wonderful event, wonderful people. First time I think we met Angela in person, and along with Dad Smoking Cigars, wonderful guys. And now it's Dad Smoking Cigars, and oh my gosh, what's the other show? It's just Cigar Show Tim now, right? Yeah, Cigar Show Tim, doing their stuff still, but this is back in the day before all that went around. Carlito decides in their auction moment, because they're auctioning off some really rare stuff, and people are bidding an exuberant amount of money to get these cigars. Like they're going for $2,000-$3,000 a stick.
Yeah, this dude's pulling him out of his jacket like he's got 10 pockets in there.
Yeah. And the last one he does, he pulls 2 out, and he's talking about them, and he mentions that they're the only 2 he's ever rolled of it, and they're the only 2 that will ever be made of it. And right as the guy's bidding, this younger gentleman, I forget his name, but he was there at the next one too. Yeah, I gotta find out his name. But Carlito's holding up the 2 sticks, and he drops one in front of everybody, and it definitely cracked a bit. But it was a funny moment for me. I'm not gonna lie. I had a good chuckle at that, but everyone was really cool about it. The guy still put his bid in, and they raised some great money for that charity.
Yeah.
And I'm sad that because after COVID it kind of shut down, but I hope they bring that back because it was a wonderful event. And now JJ is over there running the ship I know he'd do a wonderful job with it too.
Well, Eduardo, I'm glad you like Pariah Cigars. If you click the link that I have marked Pariah Cigars in the description and go place an order on there, you may be one of those random 10 selected to have their order doubled. So just saying, make sure you use the link I posted in the description. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, it's there. If you're watching on LinkedIn, I don't know where that link is at. I'm sorry. You're going to have to, I guess, click all the links I posted in there to find the right one.
You can do it. They hide the links. It's so weird, these different streaming services. Like, we're doing Twitter now, too. Just because once Elon Musk took over, like, we can get back to it. I'm going to try. And I barely created a page. I didn't even realize we weren't using Twitter at all. I think Monday of last week, so like a week ago. So if anyone wants to check that out, go ahead, because I have no idea what I'm doing on Twitter, but I want to offer different places people can watch stuff.
I was streaming over onto Twitter, but nobody was watching over there. So I moved it over to LinkedIn, and I got far more. The people who are watching on LinkedIn are more industry connected people, more of the behind the scenes people, more, those types of people, the people who you don't really get to see out there who are watching. So they're the ones that I see over on that are watching or commenting on LinkedIn. But as for Facebook and YouTube, it's all the cool people. That's who's watching over here.
The people who make the industry run right there. You gotta have those communities.
That's right, man. Yeah. So good cigar, even though I just cracked it because I knocked my ashtray over. But I'm gonna tough through it because it was my bad. And look at all the ash on the floor now.
I've been notorious for that, especially in moments where people are watching. It might not be on camera, but it's in person. You have a group of people talking in a lounge. All of a sudden, it's just an ash on my shirt and pants, and it's like, you just got to own up. All right, that's on me again. The third time this week, it's fine. So if anyone could teach me to be less clumsy out there, I'd appreciate that too. That'd be a wonderful gift.
So you've already talked about some of your favorite moments that you've had out there. Are there any non-good moments you'd want to talk about or tell people that have happened?
I've got one. I mean, it's kind of a good moment, kind of a iffy moment, but our brothers and sisters, they go to a private school. It's a really good school, actually, but it's about 30 minutes north of where we're at. So, they got to drive a bit to go to and from home. And my sister, she's the oldest there right now because the other sister already graduated. She went up to her teacher. I guess they had a test or something. And she looked on his phone, and he was watching us. And she's like, "Oh, I know those guys." And the teacher, I guess, looked at her phone and said, "No, you don't. They smoke cigars. You don't know who these guys are." So, yeah, I do. Those are my brothers. And so we use the power of tobacco to get her out of homework. I don't know if that's good or bad.
I think that's it's good.
We proved that we knew her. She proved that we were related. And so I guess she got out of some homework.
That's awesome. That
was an interesting, yeah.
How's it going, Bobby from Bourbon Battalion? Good to see you, sir. Out there. Yeah. Mine is every picture I take with all the lovely ladies who are in the industry or in the content side of things. I don't know why. They look fantastic. And for some reason, something happens to my face in those photos.
Just standing near them will make you have a weird I 100% agree with that. I have so many pictures I haven't posted just because every time I take one and it's, standing near, Mel or Coco or any of them, really, all of a sudden, I can't even look at myself. Like, can I just cut myself out? It's a great picture. Then we're fine. Yeah,
of course. You took the picture of me and Coco last year, and she looks fantastic. And again, I don't know what's going on. Something's wrong with my face. Like almost looks like I got like a half a stroke going on in the photo.
Just like, see, I understand where you're coming from, and I used to totally feel that way. Especially with I don't know if anybody's seen our cover photo. It's me and Melissa, and she's serving me a drink and a cigar on a tray. She looks fantastic. Me, I look ridiculous. But the thing you have to remember is when we post these pictures, nobody's looking at us.
No, of course not.
It's like we're not even there. So I've come to terms with that. I can look however I look. They're focusing on them.
No,
True.
true. They're focusing on them, but then I don't know. For some reason, I find a way. They find a way to end up just trashing me in it. Which some people are very creative in their roast of me, and I appreciate the creativity in it.
And that's when you
Some of it's
realize that
just plain
it's
mean, but if you
jealousy.
can be funny, if you can make it funny, I'm all about it. Make it funny. Go ahead, trash me, bro. Trash me. It's fine.
100%.
Yeah, I got it out there. Yeah, I do. That's kind of my negative side, of things. I haven't. I really, as for with like brands or manufacturers, and I haven't really had any bad interactions. Most of them are been very super cool. The ones that have watched what I've put out, have always said nice things to me or appreciated my honesty when it was something I didn't like about the cigar. So, you know, and that thing, I always thought that was honesty is the best key there. It's like, I don't want
No,
anything from you.
absolutely.
I don't want you to send me anything. You don't need to, I don't want anything. I just want to give my opinion. And, if you want to, take it or take it for however you want, take it personal or just take it like, okay, you know what, maybe we need to look at the blend on this and go from there. Look, it's just my palate's perspective.
Yeah, I
I,
think that's smart. It's the best way to do it because you don't want to. If you're pushing something you don't like, it's not going to help either party. It really isn't.
yeah, and I will say we did get some flack once uh, when we started doing our Cigar March Madness stuff. Uh,
Yeah. Oh my
Someone
gosh.
apparently lost their shit because we called it Cigar March Madness when apparently his buddy has a Cigar March Madness. And I was like, bro, there's like 20 people that do a Cigar March Madness.
There's
And
yeah.
so, yeah, he went off on his platform and just saying, we don't know what we're doing. All we do is copy people, this and that. And then, funny thing is, come PCA, he's there, and it's all, oh, hey, Frankie, hey, Miguel, how you guys doing? I'm looking at this guy like, really?
Uh, yeah. That one hurt a
Yeah,
little bit. That one hurt a little bit.
yeah, I, I, I know, we all know a few of the people who create content that are the stick hunters or the backstabbers. You in person, they're super nice and tight with you, and then you find out, then you hear from other people how they're talking trash about you, and you're just like, yeah, I know that's who that person is. You keep the professional face going when you're out at those events in public with those people. It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, it's really good to see you too. It's really good to see you too, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. There's not much else you can do about it though.
Yeah,
Like you can try to stoop to their level, but it's not going to help anybody.
yeah,
And it's not going to make the show any better. So you just take it on the chin. Let them say what they want. It's fine. I'm not a. It
Yeah,
doesn't bother me that
it
much. It
doesn't
really
bother
doesn't.
me. It doesn't bother me either.
Yeah.
I just kind of like I do my own thing, and I like to have fun. I'm not in it for the drama. I'm not in it to get free stuff. I could care less if if I never got another free thing from a company, I wouldn't complain. I've never asked a company for anything, nor will I ever ask a company for anything. It's just it's the principle of things. Even when we do our Tuesday night show, when these brands hit me up, I'm like, you're not under any obligation to send us sticks. If you point me to where I can buy them, I'll buy them.
yeah. No,
And
absolutely. That's the best way to do it. Of course, with the exception of Sinistro's headquarters, because if he lets me in the door, I'm taking whatever I want from his humidor,
Wow.
and he
I
cannot stop me. It's come to
I'm
that
pretty
point.
sure James has some pretty different and unique stuff. I saw that tour he did of the partial tour video he did. I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, I think you made a mistake, James, by inviting me next time I'm in LA.
Yeah, I remember us doing the first event for James. It was up in Modesto, and he carries two humidors with him, two rolling humidors. One is his stuff for the show, and one is stuff that people have given him or that he has, whatever. And he opens them up after the first show he helped him with, and he's like, "Take whatever you guys want." He took a few out. He's like, "Oh, I gotta save these."
Yeah.
Um, but he's like, "Whatever you want." So me and him, we both took like one or two. He's like, "You sure that's it?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." But now we've known him for I don't know,
6 years.
almost a decade now.
Yeah,
So
it's
now
getting
it's
up there.
like, okay, I feel comfortable with you. I'm taking all this.
Yeah, it's all coming with me. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we're
It,
good.
it it'll be smoke. Don't worry, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, trust me, it has a good home in my humidor.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You know,
but on that case though, like how generous these companies are though, it's very rare that like if we go to PCA, we're not asking for sticks. I just want to hear about what's new and what's coming up. Let me get some pictures so I can talk about it.
mhm.
And a lot of times, like, hey, here's a sample. That's an amazing help, unbelievably helpful to help us keep spreading the word. And then you have others that go above and beyond, and they'll have like, I've got a couple SD cards with all the pictures,
Yeah.
all the release information, blends, everything, and they have everything ready to go. It's like you just did everything that I could possibly ask for and more. Thank you so much.
Yeah, those are the best.
And like it's like one of them came in the SD card and a hard copy, so she gave us everything in this wonderful folder along with a couple sticks. Like that's so amazing that they're already prepared like that. Like they know what they're doing before we even ask what we need for them to
Hmm.
do. It's unbelievable. And I we usually walk away with a lot of sticks, and I feel bad that we can't get to them all as quickly as we can because we go live quite often, but I can only smoke so many cigars at a time. And I'm
That's
like, I don't
that's
want to let anyone down.
that's my problem too. I still have cigars from TPE last year. I haven't gotten to. It's just like thank you. It's not necessary. I got cigars from PCA last year. It's the never ending story on some of that stuff, and some of that stuff I end up just packaging up and doing giveaways with them because I'm like, dude, I'm never gonna get to these. There's no way
Gotta
with
spread the love.
everything
Yeah.
with everything else that I got, with everything else that like you guys, we're entangled in within the industry with interviews or shows that we're doing or people who we get so much stuff that comes in, it's just almost impossible. And I also tell manufacturers, I'm like, look, I don't need a box. Look, you send me 3 or 4 so I can do what I need to do with it. I go, if you send me a box, just know I'm keeping 3 or 4 and I'm giving the rest of it away to
Hmm.
somebody so they can enjoy it, so they can have an opportunity to smoke. And they're usually like, that's fine, whatever.
Yeah,
You know?
I love when they do that. I think Drew Estate's been a huge help like that. JC Newman, um,
Cost 1910.
Casa 1910, yeah,
Mhm.
unbelievable. And it feels amazing to be able to spread the word like that too, and have someone else enjoy it as well, so you can hear firsthand um, that the viewers are liking these sticks, and the fact that they're willing to trust us like that to put their name out there is unbelievably humbling right there.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations that I was never expecting, and the fact that they trust us enough to do that, I can't appreciate it enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super gracious on all that, and especially with the Tuesday show, some of this stuff we've been able to get to because I've been able to, get, Ryan and I can sit down, and it's really like one of the few times that we have to be able to, I have to sit down and smoke the cigar. But, on top of that, I'm also reaching out to them because we're trying to bring them on the show, which is the whole point of the Tuesday night show with the raw cigar reviews, which is, since Ryan and I don't do reviews anymore, it's one night a week. You get a live raw review. So you're watching it, you're getting our reaction, and we bring the brand owner on to talk about the stick while we review the stick in front of them, just to add that little bit of a twist. And for you guys who are watching to see our faces, see their faces, also get the story, get an idea of who the brand is out there, because I delve more into the boutique small batch side of things. I don't really do a whole lot with big brands or legacy brands. I'm on the small side. I'm all about showcasing those brands.
Yeah,
And so you're more than likely getting brands in that you've never heard of out there. And I think it's a different and unique twist to going out there, especially since when you watch some of the review channels out there, nobody's watching reviews anymore. So it's a way to still do reviews, but at least have live interaction with the reviews.
That's an excellent way to look at it too, right there. Because as much as the reviews are great, and I also go back and watch quite a few of them just to get some more information, or if the blends in there really helps out. But right then and there, when you can ask those questions, the viewers who are asking are gonna remember that a lot longer because they're the ones asking, and they're gonna ask the important questions. Like I can think I know what they want to hear, all day long, but a whole list of whatever they might want to ask the manufacturer right there,
Mm-hmm.
or what we're experiencing, what we're smoking, so much easier, and I think so much more efficient than just putting out reviews in the old recorded format. And I don't mind those still. Don't get me wrong, but I just think, like you said, the lives are better. That's my opinion, at least.
I think the lives are better, and I went back to some of the big channels and some of the channels that blew up during COVID, and I was looking at their numbers, and right about when my numbers fell off, their numbers fell off too, but they kept putting stuff out, and I was dealing with a 30-day suspension from YouTube. So, I had to come up with trying to do something different. This show was in the works, but it wasn't going to be until later in 2022 is when I had it kind of in my mind I wanted to do, but that suspension forced me to do it sooner.
So a
Because
little silver lining in there, then
yeah,
getting that great content out.
yeah, it kind of was. It was one of those things where I'm like, well, I still gotta put content out there, but because I moved over to Rumble. I was continuing to post the reviews on Rumble, but when you're going from 500 to 1,000 views a video to 50, it's like it's no longer worth my time to record and edit and post. It's no longer worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think people forget that just because you smoke this cigar does not mean the work's over. Now, there's still quite a bit in there. Editing would take me forever.
Yeah, it would.
We were putting out at least 2 or 3 a week, and editing was all me because this guy doesn't know a way around a computer.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't like to edit. We started filmmaking. I'm in filmmaking still. We have a movie planned for the end of summer to film, and editing is still my least favorite part of the whole process. I'm not gonna lie, but I do want to get back to putting some of that content, especially like you talk about Rumble, because I will be on Facebook and YouTube as long as they'll have us. But there's going to be a point where they will no longer have us, and the writing's on the wall. So far, we don't have any strikes as of now, but that can change literally overnight. And I've seen it happen way too often to way too many good people.
From what I found, they don't care. They don't care about the live content. It's the pre-recorded stuff they care about.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Like literally all the links that are down in the description, the video would have already been pulled on if it was pre-recorded. The scroll going down there. That's all banned stuff that you can't have on a pre-recorded video. Live, they don't care what I do in a live.
No,
and I don't understand. I don't get the difference, but they don't care. So if they don't care, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing till I can't do it anymore. But I got the one strike and the suspension, and I didn't get the 7 days. I got the 30-day suspension.
Oh, yeah. The longest I ever had was for Facebook. I think it was 3 months, but that was my personal page. So luckily, for some reason, it didn't affect the page, which is a blessing for us. But it was irritating me because I couldn't share, I couldn't comment, I couldn't do anything I wanted to do with what we're putting out there. And it was literally like November to January or something ridiculous. And it was for something that I posted like 2 years before. And I don't even remember if it was cigar related or not. It might have been one of the models, like one of the more boudoir shoots we've done before. And I'm like, I don't, there's nowhere to fight it because Facebook is all automated. There's no one to talk to really. YouTube, I think, is pretty much the same way.
I didn't get to talk to a real person, but I was in contact via email with YouTube, with Google.
Oh, good.
Because I was like, first off, I'm in compliance with everything that you require for ATF channels. But then I found out that I was being suspended for a rule that wasn't a rule yet.
Of course.
And so, because they told me this is what they put out, the you're in violation of section 128 subsection C paragraph 3 section A, and I was like, I was scouring the terms of services trying to find it. I was like, this isn't here, and I wrote back. I'm like, there's this section's not here. It's not in your terms of services. And then they sent me this PDF file that said
gosh.
that of when they did their last July, on July 1st, like right before July 1st, they sent out an updated terms of services. That's when that went into effect. But their rules gave them they gave themselves permission to go after people who they felt were violating that rule, retroactive to January 1st of 2022.
Jeez. That's just ridiculous. And that's the important part about, being on different platforms. And
yes,
I still say I'm pretty sure Rumble's pretty open as far as like the censorship goes, so it's a little better.
They don't care. And plus, I'm able to monetize on Rumble, so that's been nice. Where on here, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, I can't monetize off of anything. Now they can monetize off of us.
Oh yeah.
My videos, they throw their 15-second ads on before a lot of my videos on YouTube. So they're making money off that. I don't get a dime of that. So they can do it, but I can't do it. I can't have advertisers unless Google approves the advertisers.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I mean, I understand they're still a business, but I thought the business would want to take care of the people pushing content to them. But apparently that's not enough anymore. No. They want more from you that I don't know how to give them. So
yeah, that's right. All the people who are in the chat, get on over to Pariah Cigars and go pick them up down in the description. I've got a link and it says Pariah Cigars on it. Click that link. You can go buy any of these cigars. You can buy a sampler of these cigars. You can buy the super huge sampler of these cigars. I think it's called the Have It All sampler.
You can have it all. Yeah.
You can have it all. You can go buy them. And for every 10 people that go and buy, use that link that's in my description. Go and buy. After every 10 people, they're gracious. Frankie and Miguel are gracious enough to randomly select one person out of every 10 and double their order. So if you buy that big Have It All sampler, you can get that doubled, baby.
Do me a favor too out there. Send me some pictures of you enjoying them. I love seeing that. Yeah. It makes me so happy. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I see someone or I get comments, and like Eduardo's a big guy who always sends us, I'm enjoying the heck out of this, and my buddy I shared with him. I can't tell. That makes my day every friggin' time. It's amazing. John, I don't know if he's still on or not right now, but he's done the same. The Giannis brothers will send us pictures. It's just anytime I get those, it's just it's the best feeling. It really is.
This cigar is amazing, even with the falling apart wrapper from me dropping it.
That will happen.
So again, the wrapper falling apart is not a structural problem. That was a stupid problem on my behalf. So that was my issue. I caused that to happen. So don't think it's the cigar.
I'm getting pretty far down there. I'm actually gonna have to put this to the side for a second. It is getting very, very hot. So I'm down to touching with the nubs right there. So
this is very good. This is a delicious stick. It is drool bucket worthy.
I love it. That's the honor right there. I love it.
And I think John's probably driving and he's on a one-way street apparently. Okay. You went down a one-way street? Sorry. Yeah. So love it, man. Love it. So who are some of the content creators out there that you guys pay attention to, that you enjoy watching or listening to?
Quite a few. I try to watch as many as I can. One of our first, at least for me, I think it was a thing that speaks for you too. One of our first big geek out moments was at PCA, probably the second one we went to. when we saw Brad, and it was the first time meeting him in person because we were on the show together a couple times and just talking over Facebook and whatnot. And it was him. I think Dana was there at the time. And she was still part of it. And I was kind of looking at these pipes for the local lounge because our trainer wanted us to get some pictures of new pipes. And I look up and I hear this booming voice, "A Bakersfield gentleman over there," and he just barreling over. He's a big guy, big old beard, and he like basically bear hugs Frankie. And I'm just grinning from ear to ear, like, holy shit, he's here in person, and just trying my best to keep cool because Dana's super gorgeous and wonderful as well. But the fact that Brad was at it, as excited I think as I was to see us as I was to see him, was one of those moments where like, yep, this is why I'm part of this. Why I love this.
Yeah, Brad's also one of the nicest guys you could ever meet.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
All right, Eduardo.
Appreciate it, brother. And I would say I still like to watch Cigar Obsession from time to time when I get a chance to check it out.
I think he's everybody's kind of like OG guy that they've watched. If for me, I've been smoking for 22 years. I can say for at least 15 years I've watched him.
100%. Yeah, I mean, there was late nights where I'm like half paying attention to myself editing while I'm watching on my phone a review he's doing. Like, damn, I wish I was this good, Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about, John. Yeah, they're that's why honestly, that's why I even was talking about Twitter earlier, because I just feel like the new rules Elon Musk has made, he's really trying to protect his creators, and they're trying to get more content over there. So I'm like, okay, if he's willing to play ball, so are we. Why not? And if it works out in our benefit, awesome. If it's just another way that if you like Twitter more, I'm glad we're there, so you can have that access too.
Yeah,
I don't mind being in more places because for the most part, it just gives us another avenue to find hopefully someone else who might enjoy it. I don't mind posting in more places.
The big thing I've gotten from people who've watched the show on Twitter was they can't comment, or if they write a comment, it doesn't pop up. For us who are on streaming platforms, their comments don't pop up for us. Because for like me, it'll show, where they're watching from: YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. I can see where they're watching from. But over there, I have no clue. I've had people go, yeah, I was over there, I was commenting, but I don't think you guys were seeing what I was writing. I was like, I didn't see anything from Twitter. So,
yeah. That one's tough. Yeah. That is a tough part of it right there. And then we finally got like the podcast going again too, which I'm very excited to have that. Cigar Authority would be another big one. I don't watch, I listen.
Right.
But still a really good source of information. I mean, Garofalo, just incredible. His book is really great. I think it's called David and Goliath, or the David versus Goliath, if I remember correctly. And basically just, it's not just about the cigar industry itself, but just uses it as kind of a reference point for small business to be more creative with their marketing. And he's been doing it for so long and so outside the box that it's just a masterclass in a book. And if I gotta find it, because I read it once and it's time to read it again. It's one of those books that you can read over and over again and find new information. And I gotta live up to that and read it again. I watched this guy 505. It's pretty good. Does some good stuff. Does some good work out there. We talk about dad smoking cigars. Mel with everything she does, whether it's the Fuente Friday show or Meet the Professor on Sundays. That's some good stuff too. There's so much content out there right now that it is such a great moment for all the ships to rise with the tide at the same time. It doesn't have to be one versus the other. Whether it could be a situation where all this content helps each other get up more, because there's an audience for everybody out there, and to promote each other and help it out is where you're going to find more dedicated fans to which ones they like a little more.
Yep.
And there's no reason to watch ours if you like someone else's more. I'm totally fine with that. And I hope you find the guys that you want to watch or want to listen to. And if you like to watch ours too, it makes me very happy. I love seeing that.
I love watching your guys' show. I try and catch on when you guys are live a lot, but you guys are on when I'm at work. So unless I'm on a long drive with work where I can just put you on and listen while I'm driving, I tend to watch your replays of your show, because I enjoy your guys' content. I enjoy what you guys put out. I enjoy your interviews that you do. a lot of what you do, I think, is different and unique from other shows that are out there, and it's why I like watching what you guys do.
Appreciate that.
And it's good entertainment. I've found that over the last 2 years, I've really not watched a whole lot of TV. I don't know. I'm watching shows all day. That's what I'm doing. I'm finding there's way better the content of watching cigar shows is far better than what I can find watching TV.
I think that's very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the creatives out there too. There's some cool shows. Don't get me wrong. But it's something. This feels more tailor made to me. Like I can watch this and I feel connected already. Whether it's the first time I'm watching someone's new channel or the 100th time, and they've seen me comment before, or we know each other in any kind of aspect. I already know that this is personalized content because I enjoy the industry, and they're
Mm-hmm.
talking about it and they're bringing a new perspective, or they're talking about something I've never heard of because there's so many cigars out there. I know I haven't smoked. There's
Hmm.
plenty out there that I haven't tried, and it's a great time to be smoking cigars. Whether you geek out in it like we do and you go really far into it, or if you just enjoy them on the weekends with a buddy, no matter what it is, you have wonderful sticks with great quality at great price points that are you can find them everywhere. Even here in California, you can find some amazing brands.
Oh
And
yeah.
everybody knows how difficult California can be to work with as far as the industry goes. Ooh, but we still have a great community of cigar guys out here, and it shows. It definitely
It
does.
does. And you've turned me on to some brands I've never heard of before that you've had on that you've showcased out there. And I'm like, okay, I definitely got to check these guys out. But I've also heard from other people, some of these brands that have hit me up that you told them to talk to me. And I appreciate that. Because I'm like, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to send them over to me. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Because that means a lot to me that you trust me that much to do something with these people that I can hopefully make good content out of.
Oh,
And,
100%.
and I mean that's just something that we like to do because again, like you said, we trust you with stuff like that. If we have a full schedule, I'd feel bad telling someone to wait, a month or two. So having people that we know
Yeah,
that
we can
we like how
trust.
they do
Yeah.
stuff to do them justice. I mean, it just helps everybody.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. And that's. I remember the first brand that hit me up, and they're like, "Yeah, the Bakersfield gentleman said I should talk to you. You can, you'd be." I'm like, "Yeah, yes, I would love to help you out." Oh, that's how I knew you guys were super cool. You know, meeting you guys in person, you're super cool, and then to send people over my way, that's super cool. And you didn't have to do that. I appreciate that love, man. You guys are rock stars and superstars out there in the industry and with content. So I understand you guys are busy. You got a lot on your schedule, and uh, you know, if I'm able to help somebody and can put out some good content that you guys would be proud of me putting out, then I feel like I succeeded in what I was supposed to do.
No, I
Yep.
100% think that. Yeah, you do an incredible job. It's an easy suggestion to tell him, hey, you don't want to check him out too. He's gonna get the word out there and he's gonna do a proper job of doing it. And there's just so many companies. I wish we could do more. I mean, if I had the time and the resources to do the show every day, I would do it every day. And it
I,
feels like even that might not be enough.
I don't think so because I think you'd have to be rolling. It's a full time gig, 7 days a week. It's just like
Hmm.
here you go, 12 hours of cigar content. This hour we have so and so on. This hour we got so. That's the only way you'd be able to do it. There's just not enough time in the day, and I hate making brands wait, but it's gotten to that point now where it's like, yeah, I can get you on the show, in August because I'm booked out till August. Oh, well, nothing. So I'm like, if somebody cancels out, I'll bump you up. I can call you and let you know. But there's just so much. There's so many brands out there, and they're putting out such good stuff that I feel bad I can't get to them all like next day.
Yeah, so much to do. Like you said, so little time, and it feels like it might not be enough still. Yeah, if you could clone yourself, if you could do something out there ridiculous, maybe, but to keep, and also to keep the quality up too, because it gets difficult to do this on a regular basis. Like when we were doing the morning show, I'm still trying to get back on track. Um, During COVID, it was every day for at least 45 minutes to an hour, just so, and that was because there was nothing to do. There was literally the lockdown shut everyone down. Out of work was irritating me. I couldn't stand that, and it saved me more than I think it saved anyone watching from going crazy. It really did help out a lot, and I appreciate the fact that there is so much to do out there. There is so many people to be in contact with, to watch, to help promote.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always something new and wonderful coming up. In fact, especially with PCA on the way, I got to take another look at the list and see what companies we might not have talked to before, and make sure they get a little priority time. So we make sure we help people that, because a couple companies are younger than us, and, and that blew my mind the first time I realized that we've been putting the show out there, and new brands are coming out along with us. And every year, just another one gets added to the list, and it's wonderful to see them grow from what I know it can be to where it is. And it's impressive how much work and how much dedication gets put in across the board.
I will be out there at PCA, but I will not be part of the media crew out there this year. I'm working with a brand this year.
Heck yeah!
So I will be at a booth. So come by and say hi to me, everybody. If you're going to be at PCA, I'll be at the Family by Loyalty booth working with Alan.
Boom. They'll be they're going to be in the BCA pavilion, right? Are they?
Yes.
Are they part of that? Yeah, that's right.
He's in the BCA pavilion, like one of the first booths when you walk through the door.
Very nice.
Good.
Very nice. I'm excited to see that come to fruition, because Caffey and the entire crew have been doing a really good job of promoting that, putting it together, the events they've done already, and now to have something like that at PCA is just another giant plus, another feather in that cap of not just legitimacy to the organization, but to how much work and dedication they've put into it.
Yeah,
I am excited to be hanging out and checking out everything they have to offer at the pavilion. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, and like last year, all the small and boutique brands were all shoved to the back of the convention center, and I don't think they got the love that they deserved, because everything was, all the big stuff was right up front. So you didn't, a lot of these brand shops never made it to the back of the convention center. And I think being up front, they're showcase. So, unless you're a shop that strictly deals only with legacy and heritage brands, and you're going to beeline it to those booths, I think it's a good chance for these brands to really get their name out there and to really, showcase their greatness that they're putting out, because there's a lot, 15 great small and boutique brands that are going to be part of that boutique pavilion there, that put out fire in everything that they make. And I think this may be a way for them to finally get that love and recognition that they should have been getting a long time ago.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, especially if you talk about, I feel that the ones that are just doing the legacy lines are doing themselves a disservice. And I think once they see the, that solidarity of that pavilion, it might change a couple people's minds. You might start turning a couple of these lounges and seeing how the more boutique, the more craft brands that are doing that have the same amount of quality and love that they're putting in, along with any of the others. And not that you have to remove any of your Rocky or, your Drew Estates or anything like that, but there's definitely room for these guys too. It's not a one or the other, or at least it shouldn't be. You can have both and have a great balance. Because I still love smoking a couple of Rockies here and there. I have quite a few Ashtons that are on the list, and El Padron and Fuente, obviously, I'm going to smoke. But then that's not going to deter me from going to Family Through Loyalty or Apostate or Sinistro or Blanco Cigars or any of the other guys. There's so many that, just a show of just naming them, just making a list and just naming and then saying goodbye after an hour and a half. And then that would be the entire one, because there's so much good out there. You're right. The fire is not going out anytime soon. It's not stopping.
No, it's not, and and I'm looking forward to it. Like this is something completely different, new for me. Look, I don't know how well I could do selling stuff or talking. The only thing I can do is talk from the heart about my experience I have with the brand, and really kind of being a brand ambassador for the brand and tell, look, these are cigars that I'm behind 100% because and just explain the reason. That's about the only way I feel that I could do justice to try and sell the cigars is to put my experience behind it and what the cigars mean to me and why they would be a good fit in their store.
Mm-hmm.
I whether or not that works, I don't know. But Alan has faith in me to do it, so I'm gonna give it my best shot. Coming from the media side to try and now sell, that's two different worlds out there. It's easy for me to go on camera and say this is a great cigar, you should go pick this up and try it yourself. It's a different story having somebody in front of you going, you need to try this cigar and you need to carry it in your store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of a sudden it turns into, hey, pick up a 5-pack too. Hey, put in $1,000 order and see how it does on your shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that's the other flip side of the coin. These retailers are almost in any state you look at. I know California is a little more difficult, but across the board, that's not making it easy on tobacco. It's not making it easy on them to do business pretty much wherever you are, unless you're in Florida and a couple other very specific cases.
Yeah.
It's difficult, and their shelf space is precious. Their customers are precious. They have to make sure they're tailor making their selections to their customers, and they know what they need. But they might not know everything just yet. That's where the new guys come in. That's where the bright shiny new toy that can be there comes in, and then all of a sudden it goes from new to a staple that you need, and that's what we've got to kind of push them towards a little bit. The challenge between media and selling is daunting. It definitely is.
It is.
Like you said, speak from the heart. I think you're going to do very well. Very well.
The only thing I say is, look, I smoke a lot of cigars, and people ask me where they can buy the cigars. If you're one of those shops, I push people to your shop. Look at my look. I have a fairly large following on social media, and by showcasing this cigar and going, oh yeah, if you live in such and such area, go buy from this guy. Do you sell? He sells online, so buy from him. I push people your way. That. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's falls under that kind of iffy moral area, but for me, I look. I'm on the content side. People ask me where they can pick stuff up at. I'm going to push them to retail shops that sell stuff that I know.
Yeah. That falls directly under supporting not just the brand, but the retailers as well. We got to support the local brick and mortars. And if they have something that you can recommend there, it makes it that much easier.
Yeah, I think so. And hey, other than Padron and Fuente, I haven't smoked a legacy. I really haven't smoked any legacy or heritage brand stuff in over 2 years. I quit smoking it. It's been all boutique, small batch stuff, small brands that nobody's ever heard of, because I feel the quality of the tobacco is better, the enjoyment of the smoke's better, and I'm having a lot more fun smoking the cigars than I've had with the big brand stuff. The big brand stuff's not going anywhere. It's always going to be there. People are always going to buy it. But there's a lot of people who are moving away from those big brand stuff, because I see it in those shops all the time. You can go look at the date codes on the bottom of the boxes. I go in there today, I'll go back 30 days later, and nobody's picked up any of those sticks. So it's not, you don't have the shelf space. You do. It's just a matter of, does that payola from the big brand mean more to you than actually making sales? Because I can put something on your shelf that will make sales.
That's very important to bring up too, because as much as you might want to see that wall of Rocky there, because there's a lot of them out there, or San Cristobal, or a number of others, you can have both. You really can. You don't need to carry every single SKU of some of these bigger names, and you don't have to carry every single one of a boutique either. You can get a couple that you very much know are going to be for your audience, your customers in your area, and that will do, I think, better than trying to just push one guy to an entire wall that gets a little intimidating to see, because then all of a sudden you're like, well, this is the options. I mean, that's the options.
Yeah.
You deserve more. You
I,
deserve more.
I will play devil's advocate to this one only because we've dealt with it before, and how you brought up earlier that shelf space is precious. The way a lot of companies allow you to purchase their cigars and
Yeah.
allow you to purchase their specialty cigars, whether it's boutique, whether it's legacy, is you have to carry our core line, and you have to carry our core line in two, three sizes. So, there's if you're blessed to be in an area with a large humidor, that's great. They have the shelf space for it. Cigars the Board, the one that we go to, they have the largest humidor in the county.
Yeah.
But even they can't bring in everything. And even though, we've showed them apostate and we love apostate, you know, it can't justify just yet clearing out that shelf space to bring in, their three or four blends, if they don't have the shelf space.
Mm.
So, where it'd be great if, come and say, okay, well, if you just want this one box, great, let's see how it goes. They're not there to sell just one box. They want you to have a presence of their brand in your humidor. There's even certain companies, I won't mention who they are, they'll tell you exactly how their cigars have to be displayed in your humidor. I mean, they can't be in a line. They have to be in one big square. They're all together. And that's part of the contract that you sign when you order their cigars. So where I understand wanting to bring in another brand, a lot of companies say, okay, well, I'm bringing this brand, I got to get rid of another brand just to make the shelf space. And they're taking that gamble where, let's say they got rid of a legacy line where they're making constant money off of it because, people are coming in, that's what they're used to try out a new boutique. I mean, in the long run, I hope it works out, but sometimes it doesn't, and they get stuck with these cigars. I've had that happen, to different lounges that we've talked to. They say, oh, I took a chance on this one, and we sold them all back because there was a brand that I wanted to get, that we went to our first IPCPR, and I liked them a lot. Only Fresno had them. Well, I talked to Fresno. I called them like, oh, no, we had to send those back. Nobody was buying them. I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry to hear that because I really enjoyed that cigar. So it's hard, unless you already have the shelf space for it. It's hard for these humidors to pull the trigger and to order new stuff.
And I get it, and that's the way it is. Like if I go to the local shop in the humidor, and I've looked at the Alec Bradley, the Perdomo, and the Rocky Patel section on there where they carry everything that those guys make, and that's a lot of sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Over a 6-month period, I saw multiple boxes there. Not one stick had ever moved from those boxes. They just sit there and collect dust. And I just think, there's shelf space there that you could put a brand in that I know people would buy. That,
oh yeah,
yeah, but it's part of their like you said, it's part of the contract. They've got to have that there, even if it doesn't move. It's got to be there. It's got to sit there, even though nobody wants it.
And also to go hand in hand with that, you have to have a good tobacconist working in your lounge. I mean, you could buy that new brand. I mean, you could put Sinistro in your humidor. If your tobacconist doesn't know what Sinistro is all about and doesn't smoke Sinistro, doesn't like Sinistro for whatever reason, it's not going to move and it's going to look bad. So you have to have someone that knows something about tobacco, in your humidor. There's been people that work in lounges that we've been to. They don't smoke cigars.
They don't. Yeah,
they don't know anything.
And it's like, well, that doesn't help me, So, and that's another thing that these lounges have to take into account is they can take a chance on a new cigar, but it's up to them to push it right. Once they've made the sale, unless they're having some event with that sale at their lounge, it's up to the tobacconists that they've hired to be able to give people knowledge about the new brands they've brought in.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback on that too. It's not just on the lounges itself or the retailers to push your product. Once they get in there, the job's kind of not done. You got to go back and talk to your partner at that lounge and like, hey, how's it doing? Is there anything we can do to help you out? Maybe, send a little bit of swag or something, so you could do a kind of a buy 3 kind of deal, get something, or the rep in your area. Cause even some of these boutique companies have some amazing reps that are taking care of, certain areas. Like you have your West Coast region or your Midwest region. Case in point, in our area, and this is not to pick on this company, but McAuliffe had a wonderful rep here in California, and they were flying off the shelves, and they had
Mm-hmm.
every SKU that McAuliffe had, which even now it's huge. I mean, they carry a bunch of McAuliffe.
This rep was so good. We had an event at the lounge, and about 10 minutes before the event started, one guy came in and bought every single box.
Yeah, there was no more boxes to be bought. It was only singles at that point or a pack, which was wonderful to see, obviously. But then he moved to the west or the east coast, excuse me. He, some family stuff. He wanted to be closer to his daughter and whatnot. And the new rep never came in the shop anymore. He would call, say, "Hey, you place some more order?" No, okay. Phone's hung up. And all of a sudden, the McAuliffe is not selling anymore. After the that relationship pretty much ended, it was very hard to push McAuliffe. Yeah, you've gotta nurture the relationship on both sides, whether you are the brick and mortar or you are the company selling the cigars. You are the manufacturer. It just is what it is. So it's a real big balancing act. It really is.
It is. It's a huge balancing act, and I think, some of the brands have it down, and they've got good salespeople. Some have terrible salespeople, and some have none at all. And I know, some of these small brands. I know the, the brand owners are the salespeople. They're out there grinding. They're like, I took 2 weeks off of my regular job to go do an East Coast swing from Florida to Florida to North Carolina, hit every shop, and then on my way back to Florida, hit those same shops again to find out what they like.
Yeah.
It's not easy work to get the name out there, and for guys like you and me, we can tell you how great the cigar is, but I can't make you buy it. The only thing I can do is tell you, I really enjoyed this. I think you would enjoy it, and you should check it out. But you, as the consumer, also have to be bugging your shop. Dude, why don't you carry this brand? Why don't you carry this brand?
The best
I got to
way we
buy.
can vote is with the
I'm not giving you business. I'm having to buy online from a company that carries this brand. I'd buy this brand all the time. I know other people that would come in and buy this brand if you carried it. You got to be bugging your local.
It's not only brands either. We for the longest time were begging them to get Lanceros in the shop.
Oh,
I mean, at the time, I think he had 2 Lanceros in the shop, and we kept pushing it, telling, hey, this guy has a Lancero, that guy has a Lancero, and I think at the height they had 32 different Lanceros in the shop, and they were flying off the shelves.
Yep. Cigar geeks are out there, guys. They will purchase.
They will purchase, and if you're also a shop that will sell online, you've just opened up your base to far more, because people will go to where they can get what they want or they want to try. And if not saying you have to, or at least you're not selling online, I can call you on the phone and you'll sell to me over the phone and ship it to me. That's fine too. Wherever I can, if I want it, I will find where I can get it. And if I can't get it local, I'll go outside of local to get it.
Yeah, we did that. I mean, Cigars More has done that plenty of times. People call in, especially when they were doing the freestyle live kits. Guy from Texas called, and he's like, "You guys have any freestyle live kits left?" I was like, "Well, wait, because the rule was you're supposed to give them to your
best
your
state.
Yeah, your best true estate customers first. Your loyalty customers. So after we got done selling to them, so yeah, we have 2 left. He's like, "I'll buy them." Like, okay, $100. And I mean, he got livid. He's like, "Why are you marking them up? Blah blah blah. They're supposed to go for 45." And I was like, "Yeah, 50 each, bro. When we add on $5 for shipping, we're shipping you to Texas." And I mean, he was getting mad. He thought we were charging him 100 each. We're like, no, I'm not gouging you, bro.
Yeah,
$50, 45 for the kit, 5 for shipping.
In his defense, though, at $100 each, I would have yelled at you too.
Yeah, true.
Get your Pariah cigars, guys. Get the Pariah cigars right here. That's right. Use the link down in the description if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Click that link that's marked Pariah Cigars. Go buy your cigars. Frankie Miguel are gracious enough that for every 10 purchases out there, they will randomly select one of those purchases and double your order. At no cost to you as a person. Get it. You can buy them individually, or you can pick up any of the multiple types of sampler packs that they also have available. So go get them. Their sticks are fantastic, man. I'm
Thank you.
I'm 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 nubbing this thing, man. It's so good.
I appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. I really am. That's one of the biggest things that's been the feedback we're getting is the people who are loving them are letting us know, and it really does feel good, and it lets us know that we're on the right track. I think that's another huge thing. You can reach out to any of the brands too that you like, and I bet you someone will get a hold of you if you have questions, comments, concerns. You can hit them up directly too. A lot of these guys are very open about what they're doing. They are very willing to work with you. I've had plenty of stories where guys like, yeah, I had a plug issue with a couple of my cigars from so and so's company, and I let them know not that I wanted free cigars or anything, but you're looking at 9 out of 10 of those stories. The company sent them replacements to take care of them through no extra cost, no anything, just wanted to make sure they're happy. And that's the kind of customer service that you see in the cigar industry, I think. I think it's almost across the board. It's very rare that you're going to be treated rudely by the companies. Maybe once in a while there's a rude tobacconist out there or something, or just a sales rep who's not as friendly as the next one. But for the whole, I would say 99% of the people in the industry are unbelievably well in their customer service, their communication, the efficiency of how they're doing stuff. You'd be hard pressed to find people who don't enjoy their work in this industry. I think a lot of it comes from passion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a passion industry. You can't just be in 80% or 50%. You got to be in 100%. And for a lot of us out there, look, I put in 60 plus hours a week at a regular job, and I put in 40 plus hours working on content and between the different shows that I do and talking with brands and getting everything set up for a week. It's a full-time job on top of itself. You just do you can't be half-assed in this industry. It's a passion industry, and if you don't have the passion, it shows immediately in the content that you do or the quality of the cigar you put out.
No, yeah, I couldn't said it better myself. 100% true. It's there's no shortcuts.
Does anybody in the chat have any questions for these fine gentlemen out there before we end the show?
Yeah, I will answer anything besides social security number. You can have my PIN number to my card. There's no money in there anyway, so that's cool. It's fine. Other than that, go for it. Yeah, anything you guys want to know.
Anything you guys want to know? Any questions about Pariah Cigars? Any questions about their life or time in the industry? Open it up to anybody else in the chat that has any of those questions. And before I shut the show down here, and I appreciate your guys' time, man, a lot. I'm a big fan, and I'm so glad to have you guys able to come on and share your story and your time and your life being in the industry and being really one of the OGs out there for content creators.
I'm glad to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if Facebook and everything shuts down and we can only do one random site on the side. I think it was like Periscope or something at one point. If it's all we can reach out and someone's watching still, we'll always be here as much as we can. Eduardo, any plans for California Dreamin' Volume 3? Absolutely. I was hoping for a summer release. Probably not going to happen because the last one got pushed back so far. But there's definitely Volume 3 coming your way. As we talked about, the blend is being worked on now. The artwork's being worked on now. But the first one took us, I think, 18 months to get together. The second one was basically up until the day we finally placed the order. So there's a lot of time that goes into prepping these things. So it'll definitely be there, and it'll definitely be our full heart and soul into this. So after that point, it's just a matter of letting you guys know exactly when you can expect it. So you can expect it date-wise. Not sure yet.
Yeah.
Not sure.
There you go, Eduardo. Good answer on that. And these guys do 3 shows a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's a lot of content, and your Monday shows are like early in the morning too.
Yeah, we actually I missed this morning. It totally screwed up, but the morning show will be coming back. Great American Morning, which will be 5 a.m. my time, 8 a.m. Melanie, my co-host for that time, and it's I guess it's for everyone obviously, but the East Coast guys, it's kind of a little easier on them since it's not 5 a.m. in the morning. you'll still see me trying to wake up on there. So if you want to make fun of me and the bed hair, totally fine, totally agree. But I do want to get that rolling again because it was so much fun to get to start the day off with you fine people getting to talk about whatever random stuff you might want to bring into it, and then talking cigars, obviously, and the plans for the week as it comes through. So Great American Morning will start being Monday through Thursday, 5 a.m. West Coast and 8 a.m. East Coast.
4 days a week. Wow.
Yeah, that
Early
one.
early for you, man. But it'll be a good show, and I think people will tune in because they like you guys a lot. Mel's very charismatic, and definitely, um, definitely with her connection she has out there, can always bring a surprise or two with her
Oh yeah.
out there. All right. Any other questions for people before I shut it down? Out there, before I shut down, I'll hand it over to you guys. Anything you guys want to promote, go on ahead.
Oh yeah. We've got the raffle going on right now for you get 3 5 packs of Pariah cigars. You get a bottle of Jack Daniel's Sinatra, cutter, tasting glasses, a lighter, and travel case to go along with that. $25 a spot. It is a wonderful pack together.
Mm-hmm.
That the not me, the Sinatra has actually been discontinued by Jack Daniels. So if you guys want to get a hold of a bottle and not worry about that secondary market, now's your chance. And it's one of my favorites, so I'm sad to see it leave, but I'm excited to see who it goes to.
Excellent. And reminder, everybody watching, to get over to Pariah Cigars. Use the link that I posted down in the description and go pick yours up. For every 10 people that purchase using the link down in the description, Frankie Miguel will randomly select one person and double their order. So you've got an opportunity. If you buy a fiver, make that a tenner. And if you buy the Have It All sampler, then you really have it all on that sampler.
Mm-hmm.
And out there, the cigar's fantastic, fantastic out there. Oh, the commish, welcome, sir.
How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
So yeah, definitely use that link below. Go and pick up something. You can pick up a fiver of any of the brands that they have available, or you can pick up any of the samplers, and hopefully you're one of the 10 that's selected to get their order doubled by these guys.
Yeah, good luck to everybody out there.
And good luck. Yes, good luck to everybody out there. Tomorrow night, Raw Cigar Reviews over on my IG Live. Ryan and I, we do not have a guest tomorrow night, but we will be smoking something. I don't know what. We'll figure it out probably 5 minutes before we go live, and live reviewing some sort of cigar tomorrow. So definitely come check that out. 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern over on my IG Live. Next Monday night will be a Geek Out show over here. My buddy Jose from Backyard Cigars will be my guest. We'll be talking blends. We'll be talking brands. We'll be talking tobacco. We will be talking everything. It will probably be 2 hours of us just nerding out over tobacco, because that's what we do when Jose and I get together. We just nerd out. So hope to see you all come back next week and be part of a Nerd Out show. Definitely would enjoy seeing everybody back again. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody who came and hung out, all the comments from everybody. Thank you so much. And make sure you're following the Bakersfield Gentlemen. Links to everything them are down in the description below. So, go follow them. If you're not following them, you're not on their page, you're not part of what they're doing, definitely go be a part of it, because these are awesome guys who are doing amazing things for our community out there.
I appreciate that, brother. You have a good one.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will see y'all next week. Take care. Be safe out there. Don't do anything that any of us would do, because we're sweet and innocent boys. And we'll see you next time, everyone. Peace out.